last time Huon showing up, and because I know we had a discussion about Huon after the fact, and it was what's his name? Damn it, what's his name? It's something Von something, right? Ray something 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 Jerba. Hein something to something Jerba. I don't know. it's Hein something something. Hold on. It's something something. I think he's some sort of demon or demon adjacent. Yeah, the dude with the horns. He's something, right? He's like, I feel like he's demon or demon adjacent. What's his name? Reinheit von Jerba. There you go. Reinheit von Jerba. Yeah. Right. Yeah, it's similar to Reinhard. Reinheit von Jerba. There we go. It's this guy with his creepy, you're at paradise, etc., etc., blah, 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 blah. You don't have to do anything. You can stay here forever. We're at peace. Blah, 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 blah. It was a really short chapter last week. Really wasn't too much to discuss. The Huon thing is probably the most prominent discussion because it makes you think about from the moment you first saw her and how we met her, the circumstances and the situation that we met her in, and then how she felt whenever she got retribution and how she's been since then. And then going through the whole Doksha thing, and we seen that she was broken up behind it at the funeral. I could see her getting into a situation where maybe she heard from the Dokubi, maybe she's just fed up of going through the scenarios, and having someone tell her that you can be safe here. You don't have to worry about anything ever happening to you here. Maybe, and I word it like maybe she drank the Kool-Aid. Maybe she's buying in. She got some of the Kool-Aid, she liked it, and she's helping people to get to this paradise so that they can be safe and don't have to worry about anything. That's what I'm thinking, because the reaction, it's like everyone had their own unique reaction to Doksha being alive, but everyone was initially, upon like first appearance, at least like relieved and elated to see him. And she like seen him, did like the goofy look, and then nodded, and then it was just like, all right. It wasn't even like, it was barely an acknowledgement of the fact that he's alive and he's here, and it was kind of like, all right, whatever, maybe I'll talk to you when I talk to you, and we need to get these people to safety. It feels like she has like this duty that's coming before anything else. That's why I'm like, I think she drank the Kool-Aid, maybe, possibly, I don't know. Or I was thinking she might be under some sort of suggestion or persuasion or something like that. So I don't know. If you're ever isekai'd or reverse isekai'd, what is reverse isekai'd? And someone tells me a place is paradise or perfect, I'm getting the hell out of there and go as far away as possible. Absolutely. What's reverse isekai'd? Oh, reverse isekai'd is like a fantasy world comes to you. Like would this be technically a reverse isekai where he was normal, he didn't die, nothing crazy happened to him, and then it was like all of a sudden a fantasy world got jammed on top of my world? That's a reverse isekai. And then an isekai is if I like go somewhere else, right? That is that a correct assumption, or am I just wrong? Okay, so this is a reverse isekai. Gotcha. What's up, Harry? Hey, everybody. I didn't say hi to nobody. Hi. Okay, so that's a reverse isekai, and then the isekai is when you go somewhere else. Gotcha. All right. I'm not huge into the isekai, so I don't know the differences or the language, the specific language, anyways. All right. 1000% super sus. 181. Let's hop into this. My name is Reinheit von Jerba. I arrived here 800 years before you did. I am the master of the castle of paradise. Truckun, the world. Big ass truck. Big ass truck just. All right, relax. The Graveyard of Scenarios, Part 4, Chapter 31, Episode 181. Thank you for saving us earlier. I'm sorry I didn't even get to thank you properly then. No, don't be. I'm glad that you seem to be doing well. And she glances over. Is that man? Oh, Doksha. Oh, so it is him. Oh, really? Oh, were you there? There's like any static happening. Because I'm like bumping up against this cord. Right? I don't want to mess up with your ears. I don't want to mess that up. Sorry. Gwem ho. I never knew how to pronounce this. At the station. Do you remember? Because he like perked up. You remember? I'm ever so grateful that you saved us. Dayong, you should say hello too. Hello. Run off. I have to sneeze. Okay. Congratulations on your resurrection. Also, we don't know if Jungyak told everyone Doksha was coming back or he only told select people. Congratulations on your resurrection. It took a while this time. You don't sound too happy. Doksha, can we talk in private for a moment? Okay. What are we gonna get? 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 It was 4 days ago that I arrived here in paradise. 4 days ago. So she got here. She definitely got here before everyone. Because it was 3 days ago they weren't even in the castle. No, it didn't take Doksha longer. Wait, I'm messed up on the timeline. Because Doksha said it took him longer to get back, right? So instead of it being like that 24-hour clock that we had whenever he was at the banquet, the Constellation banquet, it ended up being like 3 days or something, right? It took him a week. See, I couldn't remember the timeline. It took him a week to get back. And then how long did it take us to get to the second floor after Jungyak took Su Young's what's his faces? I don't even remember. He took her what's his faces and then went up with his sister, and then they had to spend time looking again for more. So it's like it's been a little more than a week. And she got here 4 days ago. Couple hours tops, okay. So she's been here for a minute. She's been here for a while. How'd she move through that so fast? Okay, sorry. All right, my bad. It was 4 days ago that I arrived here in paradise. On my first day, I distrusted everything. On my second day, I suspected everything. Then I started wavering on my third day. And today is my fourth day when you arrived here. All of a sudden, I started thinking, is it any meaningful for us to continue clearing the scenarios? Isn't that too quick for you to waver like that? I think there has to be something. I think it would make sense that her stigma is good. Like actually thinking about what her stigma is, it makes sense that it was good against demons. But actually, like this, I've drinking the Kool-Aid, everything that I was mentioning, for her to have been here for 4 days, right? And she's like, on my first day, I distrust. Why am I struggling? On the first day, I distrusted everything. On the second day, I suspected everything. Then I started wavering on my third day. And I don't know if if I just keep reading, I'll probably get my answer. But you guys know I like to babble, right? You guys know I like to babble. If I keep reading, I'll probably get an answer. But let me spit this out so we can keep reading. So this is either two things. This is either this place, paradise, if you stay here too long, it just washes over you and it gets you to feel a certain way. Like there's something actually actively working to get you to want to stay here, right? Not like, oh, I'm around everything and it's so peaceful and I start to waver. Actually, something's like persuading you or suggesting you or doing something to you. Or it actually is, I'm around nothing but peace. And I keep having people tell me that there's no time limit here. We don't have to worry about anything here. It's peaceful here. All of this stuff. Like, maybe that actually could be a thought that she's going through. But then again, just like Doksha saying, it's been 4 days, right? It's been 4 days for you. It's like for you to jump all the way to that conclusion. It's like, it could be a thought that runs through your head once. And then you're like, no, let me step back. Let me see how this goes. And then after a while, you might get to this point. But for 4 days, for her to be like, man, maybe we could stay here. It's like, I wonder. Let me continue. All right. All of a sudden, I started thinking, is it any meaningful for us to continue clearing the scenarios? Isn't that too quick for you to waver like that? Or maybe I've been feeling that way deep down inside all this time. All right. We talked about like her experiences going through everything last week. Let go of me. I can just pay you, can't I? I'll pay for everything I stole. So let me go. Adding words, my bad. This place is safer than Seoul. It seems that way. The different species don't discriminate against each other. And they're willing to help each other out when the need comes. I don't know. There's a house for everyone to live in. And there's work for everyone. You don't have to worry about being betrayed by your friends or being attacked by monsters at night. You don't have to live being chased by the scenarios, right? This is the exact moment I've been talking about before. No discrimination, too good to be true, right? And you don't have to keep having nightmares that you killed someone. And also, right, you don't have to end up losing anyone anymore. These are all points that we brought up last week. All points we brought up last week. Huan Zhang, the judge of evil. I brought her up myself after I entered this world. That's right. She wasn't someone that was wasn't she someone that Doksha, just like almost our whole party, is bringing along with him and weren't a part of the original TWSA, or if they were a part of it, they either didn't live for long or we never seen them, right? It feels that way. Yes, no, yes, oh, no, yes. She was someone who had to kill so that I could not go on. So I could go on not killing that. I completely forgot about that. She did take on the role of killing for him because he had the king of no killing. That is true. That is true. I completely forgot about that. Because of the title King of No Killing, everyone was killing for him. Alright. She was someone who had to kill so that I could go on not killing. You're free to stay if you like it here. Is he letting her go? I also think this place is very safe. It could be that this is the safest place we can find out of all the scenarios. See, now the question is, if you end up completing this scenario, does it just, or I can't spit it out. Let me continue. Do you plan to? Yes. I won't be staying here. This is a big deal. I won't be staying here because this isn't the end. I need to keep participating in the scenarios. What is this end that you're thinking of? That I can't tell you. Then will that end be a better place than this? I don't even think he has the answer to that. Because he's seeking a new end. Will everyone be Will everyone be unhappy if we don't carry on with the scenarios? We're here. Constellation Demonic Judge of Fire glares her eyes. I'll wait for you here. Call me if anything happens. Patron of the Young and the Travelers expresses disapproval. Golden Headband wishes you would cause a ruckus. Abyssal Black Flame Dragon is curious about your stigma. Golden Headband picks his nose with his staff. The lord of a castle usually stays in a luxurious residence within the castle. But just the White House on top of a hill? Secretive Plotter is watching with interest. Many constellations are watching your next move carefully. Watering the plants? Oh, hello. I'm thinking. Oh, hello. I'm sorry, but please wait. These guys can be quite shy. It's perpetual motion. I love that. We got this nice sunset, bright sky. It's perpetual motion. Eyes open. He's got like that dead look. Toksha's got that dead look back. I love that. I love that. It's a great moment. You know of these plants? They bloom anew every day. The flowers of paradise. Perpetual motion. Their flowers bloom at dawn and bear fruit at night. The fruit drops before dawn, and the plant consumes the fruit to bloom its flower again. It keeps repeating that process forever. You're quite knowledgeable. I never get sick of watching them. Their vitality is indeed awe-inspiring. However, their name doesn't really ring true. If this plant was really in perpetual motion, the flowers would bloom even if you didn't water them. Can't you let such a little flaw slide when they have such beautiful flowers? I've heard that you've been looking for me. I wanted to say hello to you properly. Let me introduce myself again. My name is, you're the Lord of Paradise, Reinheit von Gerba. See? One of the notorious 10 evils that appear in TWSA. Nice to meet you, Doksha Kim. I knew it, man. I'm like, soon the first glimpse at this guy, I'm like, this guy's evil as hell. He's some sort of demon. He's evil as hell. There's no way he's not. I'm like, it's too easy. It's too easy to spot him. Character summary. Reinheit von Gerba. Personal attribute, Demon Marquise. Heroic. One who pursues an impossible dream. Heroic. Personal skill, Demon Eyes, level 10. Superior weapons proficiency, level 10. Advanced mental barrier, level 10. Stigma, Lord of Paradise, level 10. Overall stats, stamina 99, strength 99, agility 99, mana 99. This character is ranked second in Dark Castle. And you're just going to end the chapter like that. I'm sick and tired of reading these short chapters and getting blindsided by the end. Damn, man. Man, tired, bro. I just want to keep reading. I hate that I caught up. It sucks waiting week to week. Bro. Get me hot. Pissed off. Bullshit. Oh, it was too easy. It was too easy. From the first moment I seen him, I'm like, this dude's evil. Well, he's got horns. Right? I don't care nothing about that. Oh, we don't discriminate. He's got horns. I'm judging. I'm discriminating. Like, this guy's got freaking horns. It's just his design. His design is too good. He's too regal. Excuse me. His design is too good. One. He's too regal looking. He looks too clean for him to have been low tier. He's too clean to have been low tier. I'm like, this guy's got to be some sort of demon. On a mini spoiler of his nickname. I don't know. But it's just like everything about him. Everything about this. It's just like you're telling me that an individual that is in charge of a castle inside of the Dark Castle is completely protected, right? It's completely protected. You're safe here. You're free here. You mean to tell me just some random individual is just here making sure that this is okay in a place that's just so good? No. He's got to be some sort of evil entity. He's one of the notorious 10 evils. This guy's maxed out. It's just reading this off, like knowing that that skills are level capped at 10, and it's just like everything's 10 and everything's 99. And this character is ranked second in Dark Castle. Doksha's 11. Hold on. What chapter was that when Doksha was last fighting? That was against Tentasio. Hold on. Was it this chapter or was it the next chapter? Oh, right here. Okay. Because I knew that he leveled up in the last fight. So I wanted to see where his levels were. So he's 90. He's 90. He's not quite 99. And then electrification was level 11 plus 1, right? And yeah, personal skill electrification level 11 plus it's the plus 1. I would love to get a character profile on Doksha. I would love to get a character profile on him. All right, let me read what you got. I feel Doksha would be foolish if he tried to fight him. It feels like he would be foolish. I wonder if all this might be a case of I don't care the little flaws if the good is great. That's a good way to look at that. Technically Doksha has 2 of the 10 evils on his team. Our paradise in a field full of demons, powerful as hell. Some being in the upper ranks, nearly demon kings, but yeah, paradise right there for sure. Right. Something tells me Doksha has no plans to lift his finger against this guy. I feel like it would be foolish to try to fight him. It genuinely would be foolish. I genuinely think it would be foolish. And yet, yeah, and they explain that levels can't go past 10, and the fact that electrification is 11 is crazy. Um. Yeah, and they explain that skills can't exceed level 10 of the dudes because the character. Uh. Translations. I gotta remember that. His own personal skill surpass the limit. Right. But then we also know that Doksha is like flirting with becoming a constellation, and he's not being properly affected by like the probability because they haven't properly rated him yet. So it's like he's kind of like getting away with stuff. He's in this in between where it's just like kind of overpowered right now, and it's just like I kind of could do almost. I'm almost free reign, but he easily could get checked. Excuse me. I do wonder if Doksha's rating comes in, and that's when like these 10 evils make a move on him. Whenever he's properly rated and they adjust him and all that stuff. It's the fact of the matter that electrification is too powerful and it adjusts itself to fit and it still breaks the level cap. That's what blows my mind. So yeah. But Reinhardt, going back to what you said about, are they necessarily evil? Like evil for the definition that we view evil in, like some demon or something, like the nature of what the story is right now? Or is it more so like what this flower is, where Doksha points out that this thing can't be in perpetual motion because it's like, look at you, you're always watering it, you're always doing this, etc., etc. And he's like, well, like, come on, you can't overlook this one thing. And it's like you could flirt with that idea, right? You could flirt with that idea, but if we take that same scenario, right, and apply it to paradise, I'm just thinking, paradise, it's peaceful, it's wonderful, everyone can be safe here. All of this, all of that, all of these things that would make someone like Huon be like, do we have to move forward? Do we have to do this? But in order to obtain this, what if there's like a subsection of the people that leave or they go out or something happens to them, and it's like they're being sacrificed, or we're doing this, or we're subject something horrendous and heinous is keeping these people safe. And it's just like, you take his words where you can't ignore this, that one thing. And it's just like, I don't know, would these people feel okay if they knew everything that you were doing to keep them safe? They just think they're safe because there's these big walls and people are on watch and we go out and we fight. But what if it was something even more heinous that was allowing them to be safe? Would they be okay with that? And it's the same argument. They're having a greater conversation while relating it back to the perpetual motion, that flower. It's a bigger thing that's happening. We're talking, it's there. Doksha's talking in code, and so is Reinhardt. They're speaking metaphorically. And the flower is the metaphor. The flower, in a sense, is paradise. Because the flower is so beautiful, paradise is great. It's basically a placeholder for talking about paradise. Exactly. I fully understand what they're talking about. They both know what they're talking about. They're not talking about this flower. This flower just happens to be subject of conversation. But they're having a bigger conversation, and that's why that was the response that Reinhardt gave. Because Doksha's just like, dude, yeah, this place might be nice. I'm not going to go through it. So it's like Doksha being like, I'm not going to go through the issue of unraveling what you got going on here, because I'll be foolish to mess with you. Right? I'll be foolish to mess with you. But I'm not staying here. I'm not staying here. There's other things I have to do. But Doksha probably knows from reading TWSA, if I leave well enough alone, then I leave this guy to do whatever the hell he's doing. If I just leave him be, then paradise should be fine. So if people do want to stay here, they can stay here. So I'm curious about that. Because they did like this weird we're having a conversation, then we cut away from the conversation, then we go back to the conversation. So I kind of want to read through the conversation again, just to get a little bit of it. Honestly, everything that we talked about, excuse me, everything that we mentioned last week about her, like not wanting people to die, all this stuff is exactly what was the case, where she's just like, she went through losing him, and the fact that it took so long for him to come back, you never know, that feeling might have hit harder. And she's just like, I don't want to lose people that I care about, right? I don't want to go through that no more. If there actually is a place where we can be safe, then why not stay here? Do we have to keep doing this? And this is kind of a thing that's been going on since when they were doing the subway stuff, where Doksha would do something, and back then it would be like, I can't do too much because I don't want them asking me questions, because if they all start questioning me, I can't answer them. So it's to be in a situation where Doksha looks you in your eye, right? He looks you in the eye and tells you that it's like, if you want to, you can stay here. I'm not stopping you from not staying here. I get why you want to stay here, but I can't stay here. And I love that her first thing, like, after this is like, she's like, it's like, you would let me stay here? Right? You would let me stay here? And she's like, are you staying? Nah, I'm not staying. Well, why can't you stay? I can't tell you. We're back to square one. I love the writing whenever it's like, I love the jokiness in Omniscient Reader. But whenever we get these moments and we get to like discover more about Doksha's character and how he feels about them, because we know he feels and cares for these people, even though he keeps them at an arm's length. But like the realization where he's just like, dude, she did so much when I couldn't do. And it's just like, she deserves this. I can't take this away from her. So I love it. I do love it. I love it a lot. But then it just shows the dynamic of their relationship, where it's just not like oh, you can stay here. And she's like, oh, well, okay, I'll stay here. It's like you can stay here. And she's just like, I can stay here. Well, what the hell are you? It's kind of like well, what about you? You're not going to? But if you're going to leave me here, then why wouldn't you stay either? And if you're going to go, why can't I go? Because we know the relationship they have. I love it. And then their conversation probably leads to her being like, go talk to him. Maybe he can convince you to stay here. That's kind of my guess, where Doksha's like doubling down, like, I'm not staying. And she's just like, well, come with me. Let's go talk to him. Maybe if you hear it from him and not from me, maybe it might do something. But Doksha's already operating with it's the whole thing that they've been going. Doksha knows so much because he's read the series. He knows who this is. He knows what this place is. He probably knows what this place does, as we see with the conversation. So there's nothing that she could say to keep him here, but to humor her and to not spit in her face, proverbially. I'll go with you. I'll go with you. I'll talk with him, because maybe I can get some of my own answers, or maybe I can foster something from me going up here and getting face to face with him. I love it, man. It's subtle writing. You could glance over this whole conversation between Doksha and Huan and Doksha and Reinhardt and miss it. And completely miss it. You could just glaze over it. It was a short chapter. Man, I wish I had more. Wait till next week. There's so much here. There's so much here. Man, there's so much here. So much. I love it. I do. I love it so much. And now, whenever it says Constellation Demonic Judge of Fire glares in her eyes, I wonder if that's glaring her eyes at Doksha for being so stubborn, or if it's glaring our eyes at the fact that we have to come up here and talk to this individual. I don't know. Excuse me. Wukong is like, yo, let's tear stuff up, bro. Let's tear it up. I love Wukong's like, let's get to it. Let's tear this stuff up. Let's get into it. And Secret of Flotter's always watching, but interested. Let me see what you guys are saying. I was glancing over what you guys are saying, but I wasn't really reading. Doksha is being literal when he says that he thinks Paradise is probably one of the. I wonder if Doksha was being literal when he says he thinks Paradise is probably one of the safest places. I honestly believe him. I honestly do believe him, because I do believe that Doksha isn't going to try to bring this place down. It would be foolish for him to attempt anything on this place because of the individual that's in charge of it. Right? It's excuse me. It would be dumb for him to try to do that. So when he says that, and especially pairing that with him thinking about her not wanting to kill, right? She never really wanted to be a killer, but her situation made her a killer, and Doksha on top of that made her a killer because he couldn't kill. And it's like, I'll leave, like, you can stay here. I think that's genuine when he's like, this is one of the safest places. No one's really going to, he's one of the 10 evils. No one's going to try him. It makes sense that this place is safe. Who's actually going to try this guy? He's the second strongest person in the Dark Castle. He's one of the 10 evils. One of the 10 great evils. No one's really going to try him. And I'm not going to be the one to try him either. So if they want to stay here, they can stay here. I'll just continue on. So I do believe him. I do believe him. Excuse me. I wonder if Doksha, yep. They're having two conversations at the same time. But I think the flower one is still important though. Because if not, why show it in the manga like a full panel? I think it's just to add. It's something like, I don't know. There could be some importance to it, but I do think it's some symbolism. It's symbolic of Paradise. I remember Huan became his sword because he can kill humans, right? And she did it for him. It's almost like she's using Doksha as her moral compass. She wanted to see if it was okay to trust this place. Yeah. Because he's been that for them. He's been the, like, when they haven't known what to do, it was always him that they turned to. It was always him that they turned to. Anytime it was just like, what do we do? They turn to him, and he gives them what they need. He gives them what they need. So now she's in a situation where she's like, I've been here for days, and she's like, I'm wavering. I was skeptical. I was pushing back. I started to waver, and I'm standing here in front of you. Like, yo, this. And she's kind of, I feel like she's kind of in a way saying, this place feels too good to be true, but I'm seeing it from my own eyes. Like, can we stay here? Right? Can we? She asks the question. He's just like, you can if you want to. Honestly, like what you just said, like, you have to make your, honestly, right now, you have to make your own choice. I'm not staying here. But if you want to stay here, you can stay here. That's a great way to put it. It's like, you can choose what you want to do. And I feel like he wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that to her if this wasn't a safe place. Say that to that. So I'm absolutely, I think Paradise is safe enough. If the whole party didn't want to leave and Doksha's like, I'm leaving, I think he would be fine leaving them there. I think he would be, because I feel like he would be like, this place is safe enough for them to stay here. I believe that, especially with leaving them there. I feel like he wouldn't just early Doksha would have abandoned them a long time ago. He tried to. He tried to. He, as much as he might not outwardly say it, he cares about them. He doesn't want nothing bad to happen to them. You see, whenever like he was going through the back and forth with Hyung Sung, whenever it came down to like, well, we either need to try to save her or we might have to kill her. Talking about Hyun whenever he was trying to start the first part of his stigma, the story. And Doksha was kind of seeing what lengths Hyung Sung would go through in order to do that. He cares about them. He definitely cares about them. And I don't think he would just ditch them in some unsafe place, especially after everything they've done. So I do think Paradise is a safe place. Yeah. The more I'm thinking about it, I do think Paradise is a safe place. Also knowing that his attribute has something to do with Paradise trying to fight him there. Sounds like it does. He's got home field. He's got home field advantage. It would be foolish. It would be foolish. Foolish. It would be foolish to fight this man in this place. It would be absolutely foolish. I love this panel. This panel feels like it should be on a wanted poster or something. It does. I couldn't even imagine being in Doksha's shoes, standing in front of like such a notoriously evil individual that you read about that's probably done some crazy things in this story, and you're face to face with them. But you're not shook either. See, that's something. But you're not shook though. Like, can you imagine? This is an exercise. Can you imagine being in your favorite series? Take your favorite series ever. Can you imagine being face to face with one of the villains or one of the most evil characters from your favorite series? Like face to face with them, and they're inquiring about you, right? They know about you. It's nice to meet you. Can you like, that's gotta be like just the levels of hoop jumping in your brain to be like, this evil bastard. I can't even picture that. Like, can you imagine standing across from someone heinous? Yeah. That's true. The constellations are way more dangerous. Like, watching whatever the constellations or those entities from like another universe pour into, and then all the constellations being like, it's time for you to go, and they get rid of you. I've seen things. I've seen things that you can't even imagine, right? So, and the grand scale of things, running into this guy isn't going to compare to that. But this isn't what we're going to be living like. This, all that stuff, it still exists. It's happening, but it's not right now. So I kind of got to put the blinders on right now, and then have to look at this guy and being like, yeah, this guy destroy me. Let me relax, right? Let me play my cards right. Just imagine that in 3,260 chapters, he's one of the top evil characters apart from the other. Yeah. If I had the power, I would mess with them so much with what I know about them in their life story. Right. During all this, I can't stop thinking about the prophecy. Like, how does that fit into all of this if Doksha's going away? Well, one thing, I need you guys. If this is something, there's something. That panel's messed up. All these panels are messed up on the right side. Ooh, I noticed something. All the panels on the right side for this chapter are all like doubled up. I wonder if they'll fix that. Doksha's not even nerfed. Right. How is this guy so... Yeah. This is something we know. Well, we don't know this. The only thing we know is that Doksha will be killed by... I don't remember the exact word. Someone he cares about. Someone he loves is going to kill him. He's going to be responsible for his death. Something. And Tentasio cursed Junghyak's name because he thought Doksha was Junghyak. Now, how does he know who Doksha is? Would he know who Doksha is from possibly Huan, who he loves the most? Got you. Would he know who Doksha is because of Huan possibly bringing him up? If Huan and this guy had a conversation, or does he know about him? And why would he know about him? See, I'm asking questions like, if it wasn't from like Huan, or from, we seen that that mother and the daughter there. If there isn't a ton of people in paradise that Doksha has saved and they mention him since they've been in paradise, so now that Doksha's here, he's like, heard about you, like to meet you myself, something like that. Or if it's throughout the events of all the scenarios and keeping their eye on Doksha. So I'm assuming that since they're these 10 evils, that they would have influence, that they kind of would have eyes everywhere. So if Doksha is doing all of these things, we know he has all these fables and everything, would they have been keeping their eye on him for an extended period of time so they know what he's been doing and the kind of like the story that precedes him? So so now it's like, oh, Doksha's here. He's in paradise? I'll eventually run into him. And then lo and behold, Huan brings him up to meet him. And it's like, oh, now we're face to face. Nice to meet you. Right? Nice to meet you. Something like that. So I wonder if it's something like that. Rumors from the other people, I would assume Doksha is popular among constellations. I forgot this whole thing's being like live streamed to the stars, to the star stream. I mean, Nirvana got all the intel from Constellation, so I wouldn't be surprised if those bastards did the same thing with this guy, right? Having a reputation that precedes, yeah, okay, that makes sense. That the Constellations would be like, yeah, this guy's here, yeah, and I feel like that's cool, right? I like that idea that the Constellations would just go and tell him. But I don't know. So it's just the idea of how I have to word this is because I don't want it to seem like literal. I'm just making an analogy. And the analogy is how our bodies work. How our bodies work. And this is probably not the case. I'm just thinking, you guys know I like to just babble. How our bodies work is you have your immune system, and you have your antibodies, you have your white blood cells, and your white blood cells is what fights off like viruses. The process of being sick, that's your body fighting against the virus, trying to beat the virus. And if you don't have like some crazy terminal illness or something like that, eventually your body wins, virus gets kicked out of your body, and then everything goes back to normal. So my brain, for whatever reason, it's like, okay, cool, like Doksha's popular, the constellations will be hopping around everywhere he's going to like kind of let people know about this powerful dude named Doksha. But then part of me tying into the prophecy, part of me would think it would be cool that Doksha is kind of an anomaly in this world, right? He doesn't necessarily fit with the events that are going on because of his advantage. So it would be interesting if these powerful individuals get wind of him, and then not because the constellations just hopped in and said, hey, these individuals are like, they caught whiff of him. They kept their own eyes on him before anyone told them. And it's just like, maybe we actually need to worry about this guy. So it's like, I'm thinking it would be cool that it would be cool that way. Right? It would be cool that way. Like, say Doksha did something in like chapter 30 that the series didn't tell us would have made its way back to this dude independently of the constellations just stream hopping, right? That's because basically, like, it's like, oh, he's popular. It's like constellations are just stream hopping, going from channel to channel. Oh, this dude, blah 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 blah, and then they leave that one, and then they go to another one, and it's just they spamming. It's just like Twitch. Like, they start spamming in the chat, and then they leave that one, they go to another one, they start spamming again. It's like that visual. I don't want that visual in there. So it'd be cool if it's like somehow, some way, Doksha did something that inconvenienced maybe one or two of them, and then they might I don't know if they convene with each other and talk, and then it's like one mention just happens to bring Doksha up, and the other one's like, that guy did something to me too. I was like, maybe we should keep an eye on him. I don't know. So I like that idea. I don't know. I like that idea. I like that idea of them coming to their own conclusion that we need to watch him, and then Doksha's reputation preceding himself, and then he ends up being something that they really need to keep their eye on. I like that. I like that. Fun fact from the novel, constellations actually use the internet. Wow. Constellations are just Twitch chatters that can back up their claims. Yeah, they are. I like that. Constellation, I like that a lot.